Hello, everyone. Greetings. I'm Prakash Nagri from Nepal. I'm an English teacher at Gupteshwar Mahadev Multiple Campus here, Pokhara. So today I'm going to share on demystifying wishes, bridging knowledge gap for novice, new and non-researchers. So this presentation will really help to explore some of the ideas on research, how to take out the topic and convert into the argument. So I'll give some of the ideas here. Just sharing this is a cascading some ideas from here all the way from Nepal. So this is really blessings for me. I'd like to welcome you to this presentation. So this presentation contributes to developing an understanding of effective planning and completing a research project also. So it can help you some of the understandings on this topic. So let's start with the check-in word now. Check-in word, what does it mean? I'd like to start off. What comes in your mind when I say research? Or in your place right now, what are you thinking? What word comes in your mind now? Somebody says, oh, research. Somebody says newness. Somebody says professional development. Somebody may say like some of the words. What comes in your mind when I say, what do you think research? Or what comes in your mind when I say, what is your research? Great. Or you can write in your copy or check in word how you are feeling now and what comes in your mind when I say the word research. So research is a systematic process of investigations, finding out new things, and bringing and bridging and then filling some gaps in different ways. So in which area you are involved in, so you can do research. So research is a rigorous journey and a process. So I'd like to request to meditate on this journey, research journey. So this is really blessing journey. For this journey, we can't go faster, let's go slow to go fast. It means step by step process. We need to know, we need to understand. So going slow to go fast. What does it mean? This kind of phrase feels like something weird, but when we think like step by step, being relaxed, breathing, and enjoying on this work. So we can enjoy on research if we go stepwise process and practicing the different activities like mentoring practices and involved with the community of practice, so it can help us more. So there is some concept also of e-research, so internet research. So we can explore on these areas also. So we have a lot of areas, genres in front of us, and we need to fill the gap. So let's go slow to go fast. Okay, some competencies on research competencies. We need to recognize or identify some basic components of research structures, at least. So these are some of the research structures you can see here: research problems, questions, objectives. So we need to collect some of the relevant review on the literature review, empirical or theoretical review, samplings. So we need to have the populations who are involved in the things, data collection, procedures, methods, tools, and interpret these all, and finally reporting. So this is a step-wise process, and some of the components we need to know about research, and we need to prepare and present. We need to write it out, outline. We need to remember some of the outline. So I will go through like this way, and we need to connect with the objectives and the problems. So these are some of the basic research components. Research steps also, you can like formulating a research problem, finding out, conceptualizing a research design. So in which way are you going to do? What are different designs? Constructing an instrument for data collections, selecting a sample, writing research proposals. So for like to make some thesis reports, so we need to bring out some proposals, we need to collect, we need to process the data, and writing a research report. So these are some of the steps. So if we are familiar with the components and steps, so it gives some of the glimpse and the ideas on research activities. Some ideas I will just be sharing today on planning. Like a plan is very important for it. So a good preparations plans and then activation on that planning, and you get succeed in your academic work or in your research journey. So a plan is an important for it. A purpose is to enable you demonstrate that you know how to use libraries effectively. So how we can prepare the structure academic argument in a clear way. So how we can present our work well. So, some plannings in research things we need to be known. And deciding a topic on a topic. So if you like to learn more about which of them your previous study has best equipped you to pursue. So some of the ideas, questions in mind, and scanning, brainstorming. So these are some of the ideas we need to equip and so that we can get the overview of it, and it brings joy in the research work. And the questions like what are some key stories in the field, what kind of approaches, what are the key issues and questions in the field where I'm involved, are there any possible gaps approaches to be explored? So these questions should come in your mind or before deciding on a topic which you are going to study. So this is very important thing for novice and for new researchers. Deep thinking, meditation, I say, like if you discover that you can obtain easy access to necessary materials, you need to switch to another topic. Like we need to outline, like, oh, I am a relevant, reliable, valid way on that. I can do this research or not. So deep thinking, deep observation, and then having some of the ideas with community of practice is also better way. So general tip, choose a relatively narrow, sharply defined topic which nevertheless finally opens out into large and important issues, and it brings some of the concept or impact to your place. Turning a topic into an argument, this is another step for the directions. So the way to do this is to develop out your topic, a set of questions you want to answer or problems that you want to solve, you want to fill the gaps. So this is also another point we need to understand. So our good examples, I would like to share our good examples, and these examples can help you to brainstorm for the new researchers. So a good examples, I did a research some months, some years ago on lessons learned from teaching English through Facebook Live for Future on this topic. Title can be changed at the end, abstract is made at the end, but we go through the context, what's happening, what are the problems, we find out we identify some of the issues, and it brings a concept that how I can or cope with these challenges. So for examples, a problem identification was first process I did. So teaching English language and reaching home quarantine students physically in the pandemic. It was a really challenging job. I did during the pandemic. I found students staying at home without learning anything. It was lockdown, pandemic. But which drive me, well, what I can do in this time? That situations brought me some disappointment and made me crazy, how I can reach to my students in this pandemic. Affected all the areas, tourism, education. I think you also face the same type of the challenges, So this challenge really brought an issue. And finally, I could find something, I can do like that. I tried to do some action research, how I can go through it. So I made some questions on that. How does Facebook Live help students learn English? How is basic school students' experience of learning English language on Facebook Live streaming? what specific strategy do they follow to learn communicative skills by watching live stream? So I was a school leader for basic levels there also, as well as I used to take one class to the grade 7 and 8, two classes in grade 7 and 8 is school leader of through the uh, in the class in the schools levels, but I wanted to reach them. I wanted to pitch on them. So in the morning, I was in the morning shift, I was in the college and teaching there. In the evening with my university, I was involved. But in the afternoon, I was stewarding my time, my talents, my schools, my skills to the schools. So where even my family still is running that. So I was, in a planning that how I can reach and how does Facebook Live help students learning this? So it was my concern at that time. So context, first of all, we need to see the context, or we can see the background also. All the schools and majority of university in Nepal. So, there was an outbreak of COVID-19 after that. Many universities, even in the developed countries, they switched from the physical classroom to online classes, even in your context also. So Facebook is one of the popular network everybody has, and we can raise that up top most popular social networking site. And so this report reports that analysis of students' experience of learning in Facebook Live stream. And I wanted to do that, and I made a context on that. So context we can bring while developing a context in your research journey. It is a starting point, and you can at least start with a context or the background or introduction, whatever you say. So you find out your context and your neighborhood context, or from, like, for example, India, from Southeast Asia, for example, Philippines, Thailand, or Japan. So you can see, bring a different context of Europe or USA. So you can merge the ideas and see, but at least you try to contextualize in your context at first while developing your journey on the research work. An outline of my study, I did what I did, who are involved, how many activities I will do, or how I can do the process. So when do I complete my research work in this action research? So I made a just outline of my study and I developed this and I went through that. And methodology was like, it was a participatory action research, and I planned action, observation, and reflection. So data collection procedure was, I taught every students there of grade 7 and 8, 10 students and 10 parents were purposefully selected on the basis of volunteer participation for online semi-structured interview. I took the semi-structured interviews with the participants as well as parents and the students. So I would I like to reach on them. Even some of the students were like joint classes. Even the 60 students also, I allowed them to come in 7 class also were allowed to come in 8 class. So I brought some of the English lessons them. That was for English conversation class through the Facebook live streaming. And I gathered these all the interviews and observation. They were analyzed thematically, and then audio video records of the interviews were transcribed, organized into the different themes. I interpreted in a descriptive and critical way. So even others archive materials, documents, I observed, I studied, like pages, books, others website informations, and then government datas and some newspapers also I tried to reach. And I intervened. I did an action there. I asked the students to use a smart mobile set or laptop for learning English. I shared them. I made a group. I encouraged them to be regular. I asked them to like the Facebook page and the timings, what time I will broadcast. So I carried out with the pre-recorded videos, live teaching videos, and the combination of pre-recorded and the live teaching. So I tried to bring some of the outcomes from that. And I used my own PC and mobile in my room while going on live. So it was my intervention at that time. I observed the students' engagement and participations. So I made a group, even class 5, class 6, class 7, class 8. So they were merged And I brought up to lesson 34 here, she here. So I went one by one, somewhere in the on live, and it was like recorded. I used some recorded videos, and I played on lives, and even on my personal ones also I share, like for example. So this was some of the observations and how people, well, or how students are learning from there. And findings I could find, I received diverse feedback from the students and parents, and they provide a new approach to distance learning, and then it can be a productive strategy for supportive learning and at home in the time of crisis. So it was the findings showed that the Facebook live streaming has observed, have solved, has brought an alternative and innovative online teaching tools for learning English to basic level students. So I was focused on basic level students because the adults were really, they can easily access with the materials. But I tried to bring them from online games and online distracting things. I tried to bring into real classroom and the real teaching process. So it was my a journey, it was my passion to bring on that. And there was live streaming regularly. They shared and they commented and they complimented, they thanked, they requested. So what I have learned, so I requested to ask, share them. So they shared their feedback and reflections on regular Zoom meetings, also organized once a week in the messenger group I used to discuss with them. So it was a journey. And digital exposures, they got also, like they didn't focus on only the language things. And I brought with some language applications there. I asked them to use some learning platforms like WordClass and others, dictionary items to install so that they can be focused on their learning. And one thing is very great outcome was self-directed learning. I said them, you can learn yourselves through your PC, through your mobile set. If you would like to learn, for example, science, for example, socials, or for example, English. So if you like to learn, you have a lot of applications on mobile. You try to learn self-regulation is very important and part. So I try to lead them on that part, and it indicated live streaming has become popular channel. So in English Times or in English teaching in this time. So I share them some of the outcomes later also. So it was nice research work. What I did and how I did is an authentic example I'm sharing you. So it has been identified as an effective tool teaching learning in COVID-19 pandemic. So it was my conclusion that. But how I did, I was new. I didn't know. So I'm sharing and giving these authentic examples, which I did like some years back, where I was when I was a new researcher. I didn't know about research many things, but I tried to do. The best way is mentoring. Find a mentor, practice mentoring, research academic mentoring practices. I learned from my mentor. You can do, I can help you. Okay, try it. So introductions or context, send me. Send me some literature review. I will help you. Send me some of the ideas. For example, how many books did you read? What is your outline? What you wrote today's? Send me. How many citations have you collected it? So my mentor asked me. So please, if you are new researcher or non-researcher, exercise mentoring practice. Today, find out a mentor who really helps you. He tries or she tries to maximize. I can be your mentor. We can be our peer mentors, We can be peer mentors. I can help you, you help me. So this is the way we are not alone, and let's journey together to make a difference. So in research works, two productivity themes we have: laziness and busyness. So if we are really busy, we can't do research work. If we are so lazy, we can't do research works. So if you research is a rigorous process. We need to meditate on it. We need to focus on that. So focus is very, very important. And the time, spending time, investing time. I don't say spend, but I want to say investing time, research, it gives you good interest in return. So three essential tools at least try to do: keep in your mobile application, use Google Calendar, Evernote, Todoist.com. If you don't prioritize your research works, you cannot do. So please prioritize what you would like to do. So this is very, very important ideas I have got. So there are different distractors and they are killing our times. At least if we are managing our works and if we are collecting a lot of information and the sources and we keep, and that help to remind us and it brings some good. And another one is practice, practice, and practice. Practice writing. I mean, write, write, and write. Read, read, and read. So this is a journey. First, input a lot, first, collect. The research work is like Sir Isaac Newton found, how Apple fell down. Why not up? Why if I drop something? You know, he plunges into it and he observed and he tried to explore, and he observed the context and situations. I can say that. So it's like a study, We can see the example. Just an example I'm sharing you is a grounded theory. Also, we can take these examples on the grounded theory. So I would like to share my story also. I'm not great researcher. I'm a learner of research. I'm just elevating some of the steps and ideas and sharing in the community of practice. I'm involved in different programs where we research work is exchanged, For example, now we are sharing each other, we learn each other. So by sharing, we learn more. So while seeing my story, I also didn't know much about in the beginning. I was novice. I'm not experienced much, but I was totally new. But when I practiced, I started to write, I started to read. So I read a lot of like e-library books, and I love to read books than just articles. So we can read articles like Google Scholar. You can go Google Scholar, and if you type my name, so there are some other research also you can see. And I really love to do research. So in the beginning, we feel like I can't do it. How can I go? It's like a chain, something we can't easily, easy to lose. But when we find the point, and we can easily take out some of the bindings things with a good rope, So it's like a process. So it's a process. If we find out something very important and very interesting topic and very contextual things, we can easily try to bring out. And for that, we need to practice and make a community of practice. So I matter, so I'm special on this work. So I feel like I can do research and I'm special on that. And I'm part of something bigger picture in this research journey. I always think like that. Because sometimes I feel inferior, I am new, I don't know about research, how I can start, how can I go through it. But if I feel like I'm a part of something bigger picture, so I can do it. I can bring a research, some results and impact to my community. I'm not doing for myself. I'm doing something generously for my community and for the nations, for my colleagues and the students, for the context. So if you feel like, so I'm a part of something bigger picture in this research journey, so we can easily do. So let's join together in the community. So we are each other's. So let's develop with you culture, like I'm with you and you are with me, and we can be with each other. It's not the alone journey, lonely journey. So it's a communal journey. It's a communion of sharing and exchanging the process. So you are special and you matter a lot in the research work, and I would like to encourage you. Okay, so during these sessions or these presentations about 20 minutes, so what do you think, like what can, what is striking you, or what word comes in your mind? I feel now happy, I'm happy to share. I'm happy and blessed to be a part of sharing on that. So in this research journey is not easy, but it's a very formal journey, also academic journey, and we need to uh, see every sentence is structured, how I am writing. And while you write, just don't read as you are reading only. Just read as your audience are reading. Just read as an expert is reading. So while you write something, you think what it is saying. And when you read the books, you find some of the important chapters and ideas you bring out in the note. So note taking is very powerful journey. Research is a writing process. It's not just the preaching or teaching things. It's a writing journey. So for writing, we need to be very careful. And another thing or challenge is about plagiarism. So please try to avoid your plagiarism. Uh, Code the ideas into the text and keep the references and materials, and you can summarize and paraphrase the ideas and some key points. So on that, so we can cite, we can create. So I would like to request you not to be intellectually disobedience and dishonesty. So I request to keep the academic honesty, integrity, and clarity. So I have the list of also where I cited some of the points here. So you can just be aware of how I can or how we can avoid plagiarism. So in this research journey, so if we think of how I can be make my item more academic and formal way of expressions also one thing, and similarly you think some of the steps procedures, and at least try to find some mentor if you need some help on that, and similarly you can bring some of the others books which are related to your research works. You can read and explore more, and you can bring all these ideas on your table. So this is a rigorous journey. So it's a great journey if we really focus and concentrate what our community needs and how I can impact develop my community. So there are different research designs. So if you Google up or if you see different about research, we can easily find. You can also self-directive learners. I'm today just sharing that some experiences, through really starting on many research works on Google Scholar, and reading and bringing the context. So how I did in my pandemic through the action research, participatory action research, and it brought some kind of momentum in the schools to focus on reading than distracting things to the students, and they also learn some communicative English language during the pandemic. So it was my one authentic example I gave that. So I was novice, I was new, I couldn't know before a lot of things, but I tried to bring this in my context. So it is a simple examples. It's not big thing, but I try to do this. So thank you so much for listening, and I'd like to request you all to explore more on it. Thank you. Have a blessed time, everyone.